Salutations, dear viewers. You're on with Nexon of the Vast Nexus once again. And this time I'm playing The Last Stand. I finished the wall today. It should hold them off for a while, I hope. Tomorrow I better look for survivors and something better to protect myself with. I have to get through the night first. Now, one thing I would like to mention is that I am playing this in a tiny window, because if I upscale the window, it kind of breaks the presentation. You know, I have to give Fly-Anvil credit for that bit of future-proofing. Whether it was intentional or not is not even the point. So, I find that in this game it pays to sort of sink all of your time into one thing or another rather than dispersing it evenly. So we're going to spend the full 12 looking for survivors. We can stick with the pistol for a while. 2, that's unlucky. You can get 3 if you dedicate that much time to... Oh, man, I clicked on the wrong thing. No. Oh. This is turning into another cursed LP where things just don't go my way at all. Because this is the second time I tried this. The first time was with the window fully upscaled and the presentation in Flash essentially broken. And the second time, I accidentally wasted a day because I clicked on the sort of advanced time thing without actually giving the people anything to do. And if you want to stand a chance in this game, because this is one of those, if you die, it's back to the beginning. You have to make it in one contiguous run. Yeah, the pistol is kind of terrible. So we're going to do another full survivor hunt. We might do that for 3 days. The 3 survivors. See, we got lucky that time. So these survivors are actively contributing. Now, Con Artist Productions did a bunch of Flash games that I like. A lot of them more strategic. I mean, this has an obvious shooting element, but you also decide where to invest your time. And this series got more strategic as it went on, including the last installment being kind of an RPG adventure, which was an interesting choice. I gotta give them credit for that direction they took it. So dumping a full 12 hours when we only have room for 1 more survivor is pointless, so now we start looking for weapons. So we found a 357 revolver, so that becomes our new primary, because that's got more bite. And we're off to the races. I gotta make sure my mouse doesn't go off the window. This was never a problem I had to deal with before. I think there's 20 nights of this. Did we lose anybody to that search party? I don't think we did, which is good. Okay, we lost somebody to that search party. So, another rotation. Although at a distance, you want to start with the revolver. I think I've explained this already, but I usually use revolvers in games because, for balancing reasons, since, let's be real, IRL, sure, revolvers can load more powerful cartridges than a standard semi-automatic, but they're all lethal. So there's really no point in having a beefier bullet like that. And in fact, a revolver is not going to do you much better good against, say, an armored target than a semi-automatic pistol. You need a rifle for that. But of course, revolvers are an older technology that are less effective compared to newer offerings, so So to keep them relevant in a game and to add variety, they need to make it more powerful, since you have less ammunition, and the reload is slower. I'm willing to lose one more guy before we start looking for survivors again. Yep, well, we got the shoddiest of guns. The UMP-45. Oh, the problem with the UMP-45, because people are like, oh, it's a good gun. It's like, well, of course it's a good gun. It's made by HK, the same ones that made the MP5, so duh. The thing is, however, so the MP5 is technically a product of a previous era. It's all metal in construction. It has a complex, delayed blowback bolt. Long story short, if it wasn't as old as it is, it would be hilariously expensive. It is still kind of expensive, to be honest. So the UMP-45 was HK's attempt at a lower-cost offering, and they offered it in a caliber offering that they did not normally make the MP5 in, which was 45 automatic Colt pistol. You know, that 45. We got 2 survivors. Thing is, our barricade's starting to look a little rough. We're gonna have to repair that. Now's a good time, because this thing takes forever to reload. Yeah, one of the metas of this game, because of its structuring, enemies superimpose over each other in space, but there's also a vertical superposition. So, for example, if I have a zombie who's walking ahead of a zombie further down, I'll end up shooting its leg instead of the other zombie's head. So you not only want to prioritize zombies at the front, you want to prioritize zombies at the top. That way you can make those critical headshots for the extra damage. It's important, trust me. So, repair the barricade. We can repair 30% an hour, so we'll do 1 hour of that, and dump the rest into searching for weapons. Nobody lost in searching parties, but also no survivors and no weapons. That's unfortunate. Still quite the arsenal left to locate. And the zombies get tougher the further in you go. Which actually makes logical sense. The zombies you're most likely to encounter in an actual zombie outbreak will be average citizens. Soldiers do not make up the bulk of the population, neither do police, so they're going to be rarer. So, we drop another 30 into the barricade, search for weapons again. Ah, the chainsaw. Excellent for removing pesky zombies. Here's the problem, though. It only works, of course, at point blank. So, honestly, you're probably better off just sticking with a shotgun, because at least that you have the option of using it at range. Now, because moving your person behind this wall adjusts the angle of your shots, that can also be useful for making sure you can make those critical headshots. Of course, bullets also have non-zero travel time. There's a surprising amount of depth in this game, but like I said, at least for me, Con Artist Productions is better known for their tactical and strategic games, so it makes sense that this would be a very deep shooter. Some music might have been nice. Not that I don't appreciate the sounds of the night. So, yeah, we'll should get another weapon. Hey, if we're lucky, we won't even lose anybody to a search party. And we got lucky. I wouldn't trust the sawn-off. It's got more spread. Quicker to load, but what I like with the shotgun is saving it for emergencies and then just dumping the whole magazine. Because it works. Great. We got running biggies. No, the really bad runner ones are the ones with a weapon that they can use to just immediately take out one of your survivors at the wall. That's kind of a cheap shot, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, you can definitely feel it ramping up. This is 20 or 30 days of this. So, there's not really enough to repair the 25%. Fingers crossed we can get another weapon with another 12 hours of solid searching. We got the hunting rifle, and we didn't lose anybody! The dice rolls are coming up today. Alright, so, hunting rifle. Because you know I'm going to use a sniper rifle. And emergency. Apart from that bit of trouble, that went well. Okay, we need some repairs. Put the rest of the time into finding a weapon, but I don't think we're going to get one. Oh, wow! No survivors. We didn't lose anybody from searching parties, and we got the Uzi. Now that's our emergency weapon, because the Uzi in this is pretty powerful, because there are actually extended magazines for the Uzi that actually hold 50 rounds of 9mm. Which is nice, you know. Yeah, the UMP-45, unlike the MP5, is made of a polymer body and has a straight blowback, so it's got a big machined metal bolt instead of the complex roller system of the MP5, which is more expensive to produce. But the thing is, HK was experimenting with a weapon of a similar design called, and the problem is, the name is unbelievably generic, but it was called the HK SMG. And there was an SMG-1 and SMG-2, and honestly, the design of that is like the perfect blend of MP5 and sort of UMP-45, a more futuristic look. And I find it so unfortunate that that didn't become their new production. Forgotten Weapons did a video on that. I might actually post that in the description, because I really like the look of that weapon. I'm amazed, considering all the weapons that never really got traction that show up in video games, that the SMG was not one of them. Because by all accounts, it goddamn should have been. See, once there's runners, you're always going to be trading damage. Panic time. Okay, now it's definitely a repair barricade. We lost a survivor, so we're going to put the other 10 hours into that. I mean, we're close to, like, getting an AR, but I'm not even sure if the 2 hours or whatever, because I'm not willing to spare much. It's better to get decisions that, you know what, I'm going to stick with my system, because it's worked. It's been reliable in the past. So we found 2 survivors. The repairs are done. Still looking solid. I'm honestly not sure if I'm going to be able to get all of the weapons in this run. We've had some good luck, but... Up, top zombies, they're armored. So we got 5 nights of this, unless it's 30 nights. I don't remember. And for those of you who may be following BioShock around this time and are not on my channel Discord to keep track of updates, yeah, I'm gonna get back to BioShock. It's quite an investment because I like to do one zone at a time, and that's about 2.5 hours, which I have found it difficult to have spare recently for reasons I won't get into. So we got 2 survivors. Weapons search. Fingers crossed we don't lose anyone. We didn't lose anyone, and we got the M4. Oh, it's turning up actually quite nicely, to be honest. Oh, yes. I mean, honestly, it's the usual shtick where as soon as there's a sniper rifle in my hands, Omae wa mu shinderu. Get off my wall. Alright, so more weapon hunting. So we did lose a person in that party, but there's only one weapon left to find. I would also like to note that the sniper rifle round actually railguns through targets. Which is another reason I use it a lot. Okay, it might take 2 nights to find the last weapon. Yeah, because I'm not sure even if we dumped the whole... And oh, it'd be risky if we did. 65% on that barricade, that's not ideal. So... Oh, if we're going to invest the time, we might as well put enough in to get it up to max. Well, we didn't lose any survivors, that's a good sign. night 17, so we should have enough time to get all the weapons and have all the survivors, provided somebody doesn't bum rush the gate and we have nothing but problems. So just dump it all into weapons. That's almost guaranteed. What? Oh, get the fuck out of here with that. Power and precision is key. You can also use your survivor's position to manipulate the angle with which your shots will fire to get that railgunning effect. Funny part is you can hold the line even if the barricade fails. It's not something I would recommend allowing to happen. So let's put into the barricade. That's got to be enough, right, to get us there? Okay, it was. And we found the survivor. Oh, cool! That's helpful. Yes, the Barrett is like the kind of secret weapon, because you've got silhouettes for everything else that you're going to be using, but not the Barrett. Yeah, when you got the army zombies go for the legs, it's a lot easier than trying to hit them in that narrow gap between their helmet and their body armor. Those low-down army ones had me worried there for a minute. Their chest armor was tanking all the hits because I couldn't get low enough to hit them. So one, repair the barricade, dump the rest into looking for survivors, and we are golden. If I'm not mistaken, this is the last night. Now, using a 50 caliber against a zombie makes some sense because you wouldn't necessarily have to hit them in the head to cause extreme disruption to their various functions. Even a 50 caliber full metal jacket, which I don't even think they make 50 hollow points, because let's not forget, they're not intended for use against human targets. But even just a solid chunk of lead of that weight and that size moving at that velocity, the cavitation alone would turn you inside out like a freshly laundered sock. And evacuation. With full survivors and full arsenal. They barely even scraped the wall. Well, the next game, I'd imagine. Now, I'm not sure what this is going to do, but I wanted to create a sense of what happens if I, like, full screen this. So, I'm gonna go to the main menu. Now, it might not happen here. We'll see. So, full screen. But yeah, it doesn't happen here, but once I start it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, it kind of breaks the presentation. I gotta give Fly Anvil credit that even when I went full screen with it, everything stayed in proportion and we weren't... I mean, you could see into the null space in the first game, but that was literally fixed in the second. So, yeah, there's that. Yeah, because basically the way it's set up in Flash is that it's a bunch of still tiles that slide around to create the scene that you're supposed to be viewing, and when it's in the confines of a window, you don't see all the kind of stuff happening outside, but when you blow it out like this, it all goes kind of wrong. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I have been Nexon, your host of the Vast Nexus. Oh, I've been mentioning it in every Flash thing, because I got a bunch of questions on the Decision Medieval videos, which I don't want to go back to, because as much as I love that series as a whole, Medieval was a low point for me. If you're looking to play Flash games now, that it's no longer supported on modern browsers, Blue Maximus Flashpoint, as always with the Flash games since the Deep Sleep and Don't Escape by Script Welder have a link in the description. There'll be one in this video. There'll be a link to Forgotten Weapons SMG 1 and 2 videos, so that you'll know what I'm talking about when I went on that tangent about the MP5 and the UMP45, of the SMG being the better looking, and more interesting in terms of its mechanical novelty, missing link between those two. Anyways, I'm rambling. There are 3 games in this series. I will be covering them all. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. I hope you're all staying happy and healthy out there, and as always, fare thee well.